Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Chandigarh Data Recovery Labs YouTube channel. And what do we have here for you today? We have a Western Digital hard drive that is basically from one doctor in our area, Chandigarh. So he sent me 3 drives totally and for recovery, and his house is under renovation, so it was pretty interesting. I checked out all the 3 drives and they have the same issue. The issue is that the heads are stuck on the platter. Somebody has possibly dropped the entire bag which contained all his hard drives down on the floor possibly, and all 3 drives, one is the latest rosewood which I advised him not to do right now because might be it's unrecoverable. One was a very old one which he had, and that was the older Samsung ST1000 LM024. That is easy to recover and pretty solid heads it has, so might be we can use the same heads. And the last one was the Western Digital Elements 1 terabyte external USB hard drive, which is a favorite of a lot of people in North India. The Central Indian guys, the Eastern Western Indian guys, and the South Indians are mostly inclined towards Seagate, which I advise them not to be, because they have no idea that if we actually have a head failure in a Seagate, it can actually spoil the platter and the recovery can become super complicated. So anyway, let's hook up this drive onto the PC and see what's going on, and let me show you this in the next clip. So here I have the drive hooked up to the PC and I'm trying to hear the sound, and I can hear that buzzing sound. Means guys that this hard drive has a head stuck on platters, or might be the motor is jammed, which is not a very frequent case in these element drives. Head stuck case is more common in them. So like some of you guys in the Western world say stuck, head is stuck. so we have to go to the clean room, we have to open up the drive. I generally don't use the same heads that I unstuck, because I have seen in Western Digital that most of the time the guy has powered up the hard drive so many times that it becomes impossible to actually work with the original head. So I'm going to change the heads and I'm going to work in the clean room. I'm not going to show you a lot of work that I do in my clean room, but I'm very positive that possibly very soon I'll show you some of the work that I do in the clean room, because I have a lot of physical drives to handle this month. So after this clean room procedure is finished, I will get the drive back into my main station and we'll work on the drive. Alright, the drive is right here in my hand. You can see that I have all the holes opened up, and I have changed the heads now. So it is about time that we test whether our head transplantation onto this drive was successful or not. Let's rock and roll and see. Here guys, our drive is hooked up, and let's now start our professional data recovery tool and see whether we get detection on this drive or not. Alright, the drive is in ready state. Let's fire up the software and see what is going to happen. So here we go. We fire up the Western Digital tool and we start here. It goes in kernel mode because I've blocked access to the surface area. I say auto detect, and it should detect FB light, which it is doing right now. And after this, we go back again here to that location. We start the tool. Once the tool is started, we initialize the drive. Now we are going to complete a procedure in which we are going to read some critical areas, and we are going to put them into the drive's memory, the RAM. And once that procedure is done, we should be able to get an ID on the drive on the top. So here the ID has changed, but still we are not getting the 1 TB required capacity that we are doing. So I am now going to focus on the drive once again here, and I'm going to initialize the drive in the background. So that is done, and we have now, if I go and say refresh ID, we have access to the drive totally along with serial number. And now let's go to our sector, click on to the sector tool, click on to sector number 0. Here we can see the entire sector number 0, which is the master boot record. Let's go and focus on the last sector. The last sector is also viewable. So guys, we have managed to get the drive in detection mode. So we should be able to recover the data from this drive. Let's see what's going on later now in the next clip. So it's a great day. This drive, the data was cloned into, and our doctor client told us, I asked him that what are the initial, what is the initial data which is most critical. So he basically had 3 folders. So I cloned those 3 folders, and then I asked him about the second preferred data folder list, which he gave it to me. So I cloned that also into this drive. Then I told him that I'm going to focus on all the pending folders, but I skipped the entertainment and the movie folders because it was full of all old songs and movies. And I focused on some of his thesis, his studies and stuff like that. And successfully in this 1 terabyte desktop drive, I have managed to clone his entire data. Now I'm going to take out the data from this clone drive and put it into another hard drive. For him, he has approved to take 1 terabyte Western Digital external hard drive again on my recommendation. So let's see what we are going to give it to him in another clip. So this is the 1 terabyte hard drive that I have hooked up for the doctor to give him the data. This is the final data copy. Let's go to the system and see. Let's hook it up again once because I had actually pulled this drive out. So here it goes. Let me just yank it back again if I can with my one hand, which I am finding is pretty difficult anyway. So here you go. So the drive is hooked up again. Let's go on to our station and see if we can actually see Dr. Saab's data. So here we are able to see that it is searching for the stuff now. If we actually go and into our element drive, we can see that 169 GB of drive is free and rest is fully occupied. So I have all the data of the Dr. Saab here. So entire recovery is successful. So this was an proper physical case which had to go under the table, surgical table, I mean the clean room, and we had to work on the head. We did everything what our Canadian, American, European and other guys do. So absolutely there is no difference between our working style and their, although their office setup is much more beautiful than mine. But as far as the workmanship goes and the technicality and the knowledge of doing this work is concerned, we are less than nobody in this field. So feel free, if you have a Western Digital 1 terabyte external or a Western Digital 2 terabyte external USB hard drives and you want them recovered, come what may is the issue, including platter damage, we can work through these drives and recover most of the data which we can. The 3 TB and the 4 terabyte drives, which Western Digital external drives which have started coming, the small ones, they are a little different. We have Pebble B and we have one more family in that, and we are working on some solutions for that also. But in case you do have those 3 TBs and 4 TBs, we can give it a shot. We can do that job too. I am pretty sure that we can handle those drives with ease. As far as the head replacement is concerned, we can go in for a custom tool manufactured here in our own office, and we can work on those drives because the head count is much more, because the drive is a little fatter too than the 2TB, also because the 2TB contains 4 platters and 8 heads, and still we can manage those drives. So this is your host Amarbir, and wait for the next YouTube video. These videos are coming in great speed, so let's speed up the YouTube channel and see how many more subscribers we can get. Do subscribe to the channel, it helps. I come to know that somebody likes my work, and it gives a sense of satisfaction also. So see you guys in the next YouTube episode.